What's up, my bitches? Oh my god, bro. I just need to let you guys know I hit 100 fucking subscribers, dude. I didn't even think that was even possible. Like, I thought I was maybe ever only gonna get like maybe 15 to 20 subscribers in total. But you guys showed so much love and support that now I'm up to 100. I'm up in the triple digits, baby. Let's fucking go. Dude, so I'm super excited. For all of you that don't know, I actually started doing Twitch. I have no idea how Twitch is actually gonna go. Mostly I just wanted to do YouTube, but you know, fuck it, we're trying it out. I'm gonna post a link in the description down below so that you guys can go and you know, follow me and check that shit out. Maybe 100 follows over there, huh? Very possibly, yes. I just want to thank you guys so much for giving me all this love and support for that. So thank you. With that, let's get into it. Multi-tools. Everybody's got one. And if you don't got one, then you're a fucking loser. What the fuck do you... No, multi-tool is crazy, bro. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm just fucking kidding, bro. Please don't care. No, but seriously, multi-tools are a really fun way of kind of expressing like an extension of themselves. It's a really weird kind of like culture inside of Resonite. For example, my multi-tool right here, as you can see, this is my eye tool is what I call it. This tool, it has a lot of functionality purposes. I wanted to be able to kind of go through and actually build a multi-tool with you guys from scratch. And I know like there's a ton of other people that have done it. Flux has done it. Decoy has done it. Rusty Bot has done it. There's a lot of people who have already expressed how to do multi-tools and also expressed how those multi-tools and stuff work. Big shout out to Space, by the way. He's actually the one who developed this code, but I understand how it works and I just wanted you guys to be able to utilize it as well because, you know, Space is a really good friend of mine and he's like one of the biggest brains that I know in all of Resonite. So love you, Space. Big gay bitch. So first off, what we're gonna do is we're gonna grab something that we want to utilize as a tool. For me, it's actually my eye tool. This is an older model. This is like a cursed object. You can utilize anything that you want. It really doesn't matter, but we're just going to turn this into a multi-tool. First thing you want to do is before anything else, make sure that all of the sizing and the positioning is all done in Blender and that it is 100% the way that you want it, or else you're gonna have like massive troubles when you have it imported into Resonite. And we don't want that. As you can see here, I have a little bit of flux for the resizing on this stupid fucking object because this thing just wants to fucking be a mountain and we don't want a mountain as a tool, right? So let's not do that. Make sure all your shit's done in Blender. That's it. So what we're gonna want to do is go to the root object, the thing that we want to actually make as a multi-tool. We're gonna come here to the attach components section and we're going to type in tool multiplexer right here. Now this tool multiplexer, it operates off of an active tool index. So if I add a tool here, 0, 1, 2, and 3, for example, if this is on 0, it will be the 0th place tool. If I put a 1 here, it'll be the 1th place tool, and so on and so forth. When we come back down here, we can see that we have a left grip and a right grip pose. So if I grab this tool and I put it on, I can see it's kind of on my finger, not entirely exactly where I want it to be. Mine's kind of a cursed object. I'm not gonna move it just because I know that it's a cursed object. I'm just gonna deal with it as it is. But for you, if you do want to move it, you can just utilize left grip and right grip poses for however you want this to move, and then just move it to where you want it accordingly. So the tool multiplexer is on the object. Great. Now we want tools, right? So we come here and we create a child, and this is going to be our tools tab. So I'm just going to call it tools, and under the tools, I am also going to create another child, and we're going to call this the dev tip. Attach components. We're going to look up dev tool. So on the dev tool, we can see that we have this little red tip. We want to hide that. So underneath dev tip, you have the left grip and the right grip poses. So we want to look at the visual. We don't want to delete it. We just want to hide it. So we go to the active on here and just click active, and that will deactivate it. You can also just click it here. This is a new feature that I keep forgetting that exists. On this dev tip, we can actually grab this now and go straight to the multiplexer and drop this in as the first tool. And now the dev dev tool on the dev tip is the first tool. It does have its own tip reference. The left grip pose and the right grip poses all have their own tips. However, we want to create our own tip reference. We can create a child to the root object, and here we're going to call it tip ref. On tip ref, we can move it up to where we want it, and we grab tip ref and we put it into the tip reference on the tool multiplexer. So no matter which tool that I'm using, it's always going to come out of this one tip reference. Next, let's say I want a protoflux tool. So I come here, I create another child, I go to attach component, and I will just do protoflux tool. There we go, protoflux tool. Also, I didn't clarify this, but if you don't know where the tools are, or you don't have like a search engine section, it's literally right here under tools. Okay, so I can kind of see here that there's another visual thing, this little purple bit. First, I'm gonna name it flux tip. Then I'm gonna go to the visual, and I'm just gonna turn this off. Oh, too easy. I'm gonna keep the label on. The label is actually what you read right here. You can always customize that yourself as well, which is really a nice feature. Now, if I have my tool equipped and I go to the index, I want to grab the protoflux tip right here, and I want to slot it right here into the 1th position. Right? So now if I open this on the dev tip, this is a dev tip. If I put this index to 1, it is now a protoflux tool. You can customize this however you want. It's amazing. It's crazy the stuff that you can do with your tools. So don't be afraid to like just experiment and do crazy stuff. But what we're gonna do is swiping, because swiping is fucking awesome. Thank you, Space. All right, first off, what I like to do personally is create a dynamic variable for my tool. I'm gonna do dynamic ref, and we're going to do a dynamic reference variable of type iTool. So we get the dynamic reference variable type iTool. We grab the iDiamond and we put it into the reference. So it automatically finds the tool multiplexer that is on the root object. And we're going to call this world slash, and then for me, I guess just iDiamond. And now pretty much we just set up the code. So now we do what we do, right? So what do we do first? Inputs, right? I want an input of my tool, and we just made one. So I go input, dynamic variable object input, and I type in iTool. I can spawn this out. And the nice thing about this is that I don't have to pack it immediately. Since this exists under world and I type it in world slash iDiamond, it will automatically get that reference and I don't have to do anything at all because everything is in the world. So boom, it just finds the reference. It's too easy. Don't do it with everything. We don't want to do that, right? I just have it so that my tool can operate externally and differently from all of my other systems. So we get that. Next thing that we need is a tool equipping slot. So the tool equipping slot is just getting the reference to the user's common tool right here. So it'd be the same as if you opened up your yourself, you go to the root and then you go up one more to your user slot, and it'd be right here, left controller, common tool. That is the reference that this is getting that tool equipping slot from. Next on the agenda, we need to give it some sort of axis to work off of, right? So we need to get the up and the right positions. So we'll come here and go to get up on one of those, and then the get right and spawn one of those. Just put these up here for now. We're going to deal with them later, but these are extremely important for being able to get your movements. We don't just want the tool equipping slot, we also want to get the tool equipping side. We plug that in, and this is going to be fed into a standard controller. So we go here, we go standard tab standard controller, and we plug that in here with the user. This is going to be whoever is holding the tool, so we can get that reference from the active user. So we'll just do get active user, we'll plug that in here, and now we have our controller set up. With this controller, we can tell it what input we want this swipe to operate off of. The way that I have mine is actually off of the context menu. So when I open the context menu and swipe, it will switch the tool depending on which direction I swipe right after I click the context menu. So I'll hold it down and swipe. I want this to fire on the menu, which is the context menu. We're gonna do it like this, make it look somewhat neat, and I can bring this up here. Now, this is where things are going to get a little complicated, but I'll try to walk you through it and try to explain it as I go. So with this fire on change, what this is going to do is it's going to feed up into here. Every single time I click the context menu button, it will fire that change. So as we can see, I open and close it every single time. So it registers that change. On and off, on and off. Next, I want to do a sequence node because I want this to fire at the same time. So this sequence node is actually going to go into two different writes, getting the up and the right position. And we want it to be able to write those positions to other bits of code. So we will just look up a write, value write, bam, boom, too easy. We want two of these bitches, right? So we're going to have this go in here and go in here at the same time. We also want this get right to go into this one. When you grab the variable field here and you open up the context menu, you see create local, create store, and create data model store. What this means is essentially networking and how it actually syncs between users. Create local means that you would not be able to see it whatsoever. It is not networked, it is not synced. So the values are not displayed, but they are there. If we do create store, it is a stored value, but it's local only. So that means that only the person who pulls this out will be able to see all the values on it. And if we pull out the data model store, this means it is synced across all people and everybody will be able to see these values as they change. Oh, it's not even in the thing. So that means that everybody will be able to see these values when they change. And that can be kind of costly, a little performance heavy. And we don't want that as, especially if like we keep using more and more of them. So pretty much what you would want to do is mainly just use stores. We can use stored value. So we'll just name this write. So this will be the written write value when you press the context menu. This one will do it for the up. So we'll do create store and we'll just rename it to up. So now these are essentially referenced no matter where you put them. So essentially what we've done so far is we've gotten the ups and the right value of our tool, right? But now we actually need to get the forward in reference because we are actually going to dot product this based off of the up and right positions as they are according to the forward position. So actually we would get that from over here from this tool equipping slot. So we'll look up get forward, grab the get forward node, and we'll put it underneath right here and equip that to the tool equipping slot. Next, we want to get the dot product. I explained how dot products worked in a previous video, but essentially if you have two arrows pointing the same way, right, then this equals 1. If you have them perpendicular, this one pointing this way, this one pointing this way, it's going to be 0. And if they are pointing in opposite directions, it's going to be -1. And that's essentially it. It's really just directions of the arrows in reference to each other. So we're going to look up a dot product. So we just look up dot and we want float 3. We move over here and plug this one in, plugging in the forward position here, plug this in the middle, and also get the dot product of the right. So now we have these two values. The reason why we're doing this is so that every single time we open the context menu, it resets the value back to 0. So if I'm moving in this direction, it's going to tell me what is up or down from this previous position that I just started it at. So if we look here on the right, if I open the context menu, it resets and I've moved 0.1 to the right. If I open it again and I move it back, it's going to be -0.1 to the left. So every single time we click it, it resets. Too easy. Next, we want to get what's called a negate node and we want to up float 3. So if I open this and I go up, it's going to be negative. And if I go down, it's going to be positive. I'll show you why this matters in a minute. We're also going to do the same thing to the dot product on the bottom. And then we're going to feed these into what is called a value min multi. We're going to do it of float 3 and we're going to plug in the positive and negatives, and then as well as just the normals too. The reason why we're utilizing this, we now have this crosshair, right? But what we're doing is we're saying, hey, this is the center. If I go this way, it's going to be a negative number. If I go this way, it's going to be a negative number. And the same with the left and down positions as well. Now what we want to do is absolute value this output here. So we're just going to look up ABS or absolute, and then value absolute. We're going to do it of float 3. Absolute value basically is saying any number that is negative will now be positive at any and all times. So we're actually going to look for less than, just to make it cleaner, of float 3. And we're going to say, hey, is this value is point, I don't know, like 5 or 6 or something, right? Less than this absolute value. So now we're getting this like really cool effect. At this point, all we really need is an index of first match. So we're going to get an index of first match, and we're going to do all of this by type float. This min is going to plug into this index of first match. We're going to get a -1. That is totally fine. First, we are going to get the top dot product. Then we will get the negated version of that top dot product. We will add 2 more, and we will get the bottom dot product as well as the negated version of that bottom dot product. So as you can see now, if we move in a direction, we can see that this value does change. So this will be the condition, and we get another if. This if is going to fire off of the other if from way back when. Oh, whoops. I forgot to put an if back here, but this is also supposed to be an if, my bad. And then the if statement will go into the sequence. That was my bad. Then this false value is going to go into this if statement. Basically, this means that when you hold it until you let go, right? Because this fires on change. So on true, hold it. On let go, fire on false. That's essentially what we're doing. So on the let go is when it changes the tool. So now we get this if, and it will fire on true on this statement. If 0.6 is less than whatever the absolute value is, then it will fire on true here. I need to make a little bit more space here because this is starting to get a little out of control. All right, so pretty much the last finishing touches. Now we just need to get the iDiamond. This active tool index right here is the value that is going to be changing. So we're going to source this. Lastly, we're going to create a write. We're going to put the if statement into the fire and the value of the index. And we're going to take the source that we just made and plug it straight into this variable. So now every single time we do something, it will change that value depending on when we let go. Boom. It works. And you can also see that value change over here as well. So now if I want the dev tool to be on 0, I would swipe down and there's my dev tool. So for example, if I was to swipe down like this without rotating the hand, then it will be index of 0. If I swipe to the right, it's going to be an index of 3. However, if I orientate my hand like this and then I swipe down, it's still going to be a value of 3. It's simply just because it goes based off of the orientation of the tool. So the right and the up position of the tool itself. And that's basically it. After that, you could, if you wanted to, grab this on written, and once it has written, you could do something like playing a one shot, right? And you could have it play a one shot from the tool, from its root. So then you can, pick a clip or whatever you want, and every single time it changes, it will make a sound. That way if it has done that or not. And that's pretty much optional, but I use that for mine. So let's create a couple more tools. We'll go to tools, create child, name this material. So I'll just call it the mat tip. This is going to be the material tool. Boom, too easy. I go to the iDiamond, scroll down, add a tool that I want, and drag and drop the mat tip in there. Boom. So now we can test and see. Oh, well, don't worry about the visual there. We can actually turn the visual off on the tool. Too easy. The orb slot, we could probably move somewhere else down here or something. All right, so now moment of truth. So I can swipe it to the left. I'm going to get the material tool. If I swipe it up, it's going to go to the protoflux tool. And if I swipe it down, then it's going to go to the dev tool. So we know this works. The last thing that I really want to do is to add a Boolean switcher so that it only has each tool that is actually on within the index instead of all of them on at the same time, if that makes sense. So we'll go to tools up top here and we will add another component. So Boolean switcher, and this will basically allow us to switch between whatever bool on whatever active index. So I set it up from the children objects, but you still want to go through and double check to make sure that each one of these indexes are in the same place. So dev tip first, flux tip second, and mat tip third. We'll go up to the iDiamond tool and we will check here, dev tip first, flux tip second, mat tip third. Next, we're just going to grab the active tool index here and we'll go and plug it in into the active index here, and we will drive it. And now, boom, now all the visuals and everything are still active on the tool. So left, the material tool, we go up, it's the protoflux tool, and if we go down, it is the dev tool. So here you can start getting really creative. You can even start doing like assets and materials and whatever else you want, and you can even change what the tool looks like depending on how you swipe it. So you can get really creative with how this tool will operate. But yeah, as we can see, it just works. So have fun with that. I really hope you guys enjoyed having fun like making this tool, and I hope that you guys do understand how it works. I know it's a little complicated on the mathematical side of things, but if you play around with things long enough and you have like a process of how you want to make it, at least you have a little bit more extra knowledge for yourself to be able to go and create other really cool things. So I hope you really have fun with this, and I will hope to see you guys in the next video. Have fun with your multi-tools. Peace.